Bad news, nothing's here to stay. Bad news, everything will end. Every friendship, every relationship, and even us. Our lives will be over soon. Every day that goes by, it's a day that will never come back to us. It is the youngest day of our lives that we've now missed, that we've now lost. And that gives us a severe amount of anxiety as we age. So if we found something to grasp on, if we found religions, if we've had children, if we have a partner that we believe deeply amount of love and gratitude and appreciation and the feeling of wanting to experience this entire journey with, these things will help us get through this immense amount of anxiety that we're experiencing. These things will help us feel a little bit more at ease, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at peace. But in the end, the truth is the truth, and every day that goes by, it's a day that it's not coming back. You're not going to get any younger the next day. Life isn't going to get any easier the next day. You're not going to be able to do the same things you did yesterday the next day. You have to accept the fact that your physiology, your psyche even, your physical and mental health are all changing. And that's okay. That's just the way the world is. We exist because of a tremendous amount of change that's happened over millions of years in this universe. The reason we exist, we owe our existence to this change. So there's no reason to fight it. There's no reason to get lost in our anxious minds, our anxious thoughts about it. But what we can do is to get choosy. What we can do is to get really, really picky with how we wish to spend every second that is left for us. That's the most important thing that we need to develop. We need to train ourselves to recognize, we need to train ourselves to follow. And the saddest thing is that majority of the population never really gets in touch with that. Most of the population is so concerned about which restaurant they're going to eat at, which hotel they're going to stay at, which party they're going to throw for, the holidays or birthday. And they get lost in what is actually important in life. Some of us can't live like that. Some of us wake up every day and know that there's a job to do, there's a task to be done, there's growth that must happen if you're still breathing, if you're still alive, and that all else is superficial. It does not matter how much money you spend on food, it does not matter what you do for fun. It doesn't matter which friends you're hanging out with, which friends you're not hanging out with. It doesn't matter what kind of drink you had or how good or bad your coffee was. All those are superfluous. Those are all small little distractions in the bigger picture. So, what is the bigger picture, you ask? Man, the bigger picture is you. It's really the best way to describe it. The bigger picture is who you are. And it's also the path that you're on. And of course, no one looks exactly like anybody else, and no one's walking on the same path exactly as someone else. And that's the beauty of life. the fact that you cannot possibly get this thing wrong. There's no failure in this journey. This is the craziest thing. We are all in fear of failure, yet there is none. There is none because you can't possibly follow anybody else's path. That will be the only way you fail. That would be the only way you reach a dead end. The only journey is to discover yourself. The only journey is the self-discovery process. In order to do that, you're going to have to break the law. And by law, I mean the law of the universe, right? The following of others. The idea that you must do A must take you to B will lead to C, and that will give birth to D. You need to break away from the norm. And in that, you will find yourself. In that, you will find your own path. And then all you need to do from there is to stay on that path as if your life is dependent on it. And for some, maybe that path is a path of family, a wife. For others, maybe the path is helping others. Maybe finding a career that is in service of the humanity, in service of the world. For others, it could be becoming or creating art. Art is a way for us to continue our legacy beyond death, or at least push our legacy, delay our legacy beyond death. Your path is unique to you, and that is the most underrated statement out there that needs to be said, needs to be taught to every child. You're not meant to be like anyone else. You're not meant to follow anyone else. You are meant to be yourself. And in that journey, you get to learn from others. In that journey, you get to respect others. In that journey, you get to appreciate what others have done prior to you arriving in this world, and those of your peers, those who are around at the same time. But don't get lost playing anybody else's role. Don't get lost filling someone else's shoe. Do not get lost becoming someone that you're not. Majority of the relationships fall apart. And out of the ones that don't fall apart, there's a good number of them that have had all sorts of scandals and cheating and problems. So just because a relationship stays on and remains doesn't mean that it's a quality relationship by any means. There are plenty of terrible relationships that should have ended 25 years ago and they have not. So we are in this world where our relationships are suffering. The reason why our relationships are suffering is because we are suffering and we are afraid to admit. We are afraid to admit who we are. We deny what we want. We deny it so well that we can't even remember it anymore. We believe our own lies. I invite you to get to know yourself. I invite you to break hearts. I invite you to push beyond the norm and pursue a life that is truly your own. Thank you.